Hi, and thanks for coming to our talk. I'm going to be talking about an almost linear time algorithm for minimizing LP norm objectives on graphs. This is joint work with Brian Bullens, Rasmus King, and Sushant Sachdev. So I'll first define two families of problems, flow and voltage problems. So in a flow problem, we're given a graph, we're given a source vertex and a sink vertex. And the goal is to send 1 unit flow from S to T while minimizing a certain cost function on the edges. This constraint of sending 1 unit flow from S to T can be modeled using a linear equation where we use the edge vertex incidence matrix. We can also generalize this to net vertex demands instead of just sending 1 unit flow from S to T. This problem captures many well-studied problems. For example, if you consider the cost function to be the weighted L1 norm problem, it captures transshipment. Similarly, if it's the weighted L infinity norm problem, it captures max flow with capacities. And if it is the L2 norm problem, then it captures electrical flows. Similarly, we can define voltage problems where again we have a graph, a source vertex, and a sink. But now instead of sending 1 unit flow from S to T, we want to maintain 1 unit potential difference across S and T. And now the objective is to minimize a certain cost function on these voltages. This problem also captures some well-studied problems. So if the cost function is the weighted L1 norm, then it captures the capacitated min cut problem. If it's the weighted L infinity norm, it captures vortex labeling. And if it's the L2 norm, it captures electrical voltages. So in this paper, we consider minimizing the LP norm objectives, a weighted LP norm objectives for both flow and voltage problems. And we are interested in the case where P is at least a constant. Okay, so our goal is to find a 1 plus epsilon multiplicative approximation to the objective in time that's polynomial in M, the size of the graph or the number of edges, and log 1 by epsilon. When the epsilon dependence is log 1 by epsilon, we consider it to be a high accuracy solution. Some previous high accuracy guarantees involve the classical interior point methods by Nesterov and Miroski. These methods although require square root m iterations, where m is the number of edges in the graph, and each iteration is solving a weighted linear system. And the dependence of P is Pauline P. In 2018, Vivek Cohen, Lee, and Lee gave an algorithm that uses a homotopy approach for minimizing LP norms. But they also require square root m iterations in the limit. They also show that the interior point method framework is tight and you cannot really improve it further. Other gradient-based methods cannot really work to give a high accuracy solution, mainly because the LP norm objective becomes really flat around the optimum. So in 2019, we gave an algorithm that breaks the square root m barrier of interior point methods. We use an accelerated multiplicative weight update scheme that requires only m to the 1/3 iterations. Each iteration is again solving a weighted linear system. Although our dependence in P is exponential in P. Building on this, King, Peng, Sachdev, and Wang gave an algorithm that works in almost linear time, but only for unit capacity flows. Here also the dependence on P is exponential. For other problems such as transshipment, which if you recall is the weighted L1 norm minimization for flow problems. For dense graphs, a bunch of authors recently gave an algorithm that's almost linear time, but is still restricted by the square root m iterations by the interior point methods. In this paper, we give an algorithm that's almost linear time. We're able to break the m to the 1 square root m barrier of interior point methods, and the runtime is only linear in P. And if you consider slightly dense graphs, that is graphs which have the number of edges at least these many, then our algorithm is almost linear time. The main tools we use are new sparsification techniques for flow and voltage objectives. And we have a new voltage space accelerated multiplicative weight solver. If you recall the previous one, from our previous result only works for flow spaces and has an exponential in P dependence. So the first key idea for our algorithm is an iterative refinement for LP nodes. So we'll consider this general objective. So if you see, this can capture both flow and voltage problems. The idea is, given this objective and given an iterate x, if you take one step delta, you can upper and lower bound this function by a similar function. So the upper and lower bounds, if you see, are a linear term. There's a quadratic term and an LP to the P term. So this can be thought of as a local quadratic approximation and a long range P approximation. And if you note, the upper and lower bounds are similar, they're just off by a constant scaling factor. So similar to how gradient descent works for strongly convex and smooth problems, where you have both upper and lower bounds, you can, even for LP norms, you can actually just minimize this upper bound, some log 1 by epsilon number of times to converge to a high accuracy solution. So formally, given our objective, which is an L2 squared and an LP to the P, we'll call these functions smooth P norm functions from now. So you can actually bound the change in objective value for any step by this function. You can upper and lower bound it both. And if you find a kappa approximate solution for minimizing this function, then you can take a step that actually guarantees a good multiplicative progress towards the optimum. So in order to get a high accuracy solution, all you need is some kappa p log n by epsilon iterations, where each iteration just involves minimizing this problem. So now we have reduced our problem from finding a solution to this, a high accuracy solution of this, to some constant or kappa approximate solution for a smoothed problem. Okay. So the next step is, if you notice, this problem has two parameters. It's P and the size of the problem. I mean, this is also the same. So the next goal is to reduce both of these. So if P is large, our next idea is to convert this smooth P norm problem to a smooth log m norm problem. So if P is greater than log m, we would convert it to a smooth log m norm problem. And in a recent work, we show that you can do this by only losing a constant factor approximation. So now we basically have a smooth P norm problem that we want to solve to some kappa approximation, and P is at most log m. So the next goal is to reduce these matrices and still preserve approximation. So we want to delta, delta, and n delta, two matrices that we can compute fast in almost linear time. And that has size at most some order n, where n is the number of vertices. And we want this new problem, this new smooth problem, to be such that an approximation to that problem gives a good approximation to this current problem. And this is what we call as sparsification. So we have three sparsification routines in this paper, one for flow problems, one for voltage problems, and we have something for general matrices, which works only for small p. So the flow sparsification algorithm, it builds on the algorithm by King, Planck, Sachdeva, and Wang. Although this algorithm can only handle uniform LP weights. So in order to handle non-uniform weights, we need a new bucketing scheme. We also need to pre-process in the beginning to get rid of the 0, L2, and LP weights. And this pre-processing actually introduces an additive error, which needs to be carefully handled throughout the iterations. So by doing this, we're able to show that if you're given an original graph with n vertices and m edges, in almost linear time, we can compute a new graph with very few edges and a constant factor approximation to the flow problem, or the smooth P norm flow problem in this graph. In this new graph gives an m to the little o of 1 approximate solution to the reciprocal. This is m to the little o of 1 because we're considering P to be at least a constant. So now in the voltage space, we can actually treat the L2 and LP cause separately, unlike the flow space. Because at a high level, you can think of this as, so if you have a graph and you're sending 1 unit flow from S to T, adding an edge only reduces the cost of the total flow. Basically, you can basically divert the flow through that edge. But in the voltage space, adding an edge only increases the cost. So now we can treat them separately. We'll use some standard spectral graph classification tools to preserve the L2 cost. And for LP cost, we'll use some weighted undirected spanners, which we'll define now. So a K-spanner. So if you're given a graph G, a K-spanner of this graph is some subgraph H, such that if you consider any two vertices in this subgraph and the shortest distance between these two vertices, so the shortest distance between these two vertices in H should be at most K times the shortest distance between the same vertices in G. So basically the shortest pairwise distances are sort of preserved up to a factor of K. So in 2007, Vaswana and Sen gave an algorithm that implies that you can actually compute a log n spanner, which has very few edges, and you can compute it in almost linear time. And this can be done with high probability. The result holds in expectation, but you could do a standard Las Vegas to Monte Carlo translation to get this result to work in high probability. So the way we use this result is you start with the original graph and we ignore all the edges which have zero weight, zero LP weight. And for this subgraph, we now construct a log n spanner using this result. And with this, we show that you can actually, so for this new graph H, we consider the weights T to just be the original weights S restricted to the subgraph. And we can show an infinity bound. We can show that in infinity norm, these objectives are actually upper and lower bounded up to a log n factor. Now, in order to get what we want an LP bound. See, this part just follows from the fact that H is a subgraph of G. And to see this part, you can just do a norm translation using the above equation. Okay, so next we look at the spectral falsification result. We use the result by Spielman and Srivastava, where they are able to preserve L2 costs up to 1 plus epsilon approximation by constructing a subgraph in almost linear time, and that has only n by epsilon squared edges. And this algorithm also succeeds with high probability. So the way we construct our voltage falsifier is we take H1 to be the spanner subgraph that we constructed by removing the zero edges and constructing a spanner, a log n spanner. Construct another subgraph H2 using the spectral falsification algorithm. And we take the union of edges on these two subgraphs. And you can actually show that by a union bound that both the LP cost and the L2 cost is preserved. So this gives us our final result for voltage falsification, that if you start with a graph with n edges, n vertices and n edges, in almost linear time, you can compute a graph H with few edges and a constant factor approximation to the problem on this new subgraph only needs to be scaled by some m to the little o of 1. And you get an m to the little o of 1 approximate solution. Okay, now moving on to general matrices. Lewis weights are a generalization of leverage curves, and Cohen and Peng in 2014 actually showed how to compute these Lewis weights fast and use them to approximate LP norms. So given a matrix, it's a sampling scheme that gives you a new smaller matrix that is able to approximate the LP cost. Although we can only use this algorithm for small p because the number of rows becomes really large, grows really rapidly with p. So finally, for p between 2 and 4, for any matrices, we can start with a smooth p-norm problem, and we can use the sampling method to compute smaller matrices and get another smooth p-norm problem with these many rows. And a kappa approximation to this problem gives an order kappa approximation to our original. So now we have reduced our original problem of minimizing LP norms to a smooth LP norm problem, which we only need to solve to a constant approximation. And the size of this problem is something order n. and P is at most log M. So to solve this, we will use an accelerated multiplicative weight update solver, where basically we solve a weighted linear system in each iteration, and the solution returned by the system is checked. And if it has a large LP norm, then the coordinates with a high value are penalized by doubling the weights along those coordinates. And by doing this doubling of weights is called weight reduction. And by doing this, we're able to reduce the number of iterations from square root n to n to the 1/3. And this works for any matrices M, N, and A. So the key thing here is we're able to improve our P dependence in this algorithm from exponential to linear. And originally this only worked for flow spaces, but now they can work for any matrices. So combining all of this together, we had started with an LP norm problem. We reduced it to a smooth P norm problem. And if P was large, we further reduced it to a smooth log M norm problem. Then we used one of our sparsification routines to get a smaller problem. And after that, we used our multiplicative weight update solver, which only required n to the 4/3 runtime for graph problems. So this step, going from here to here, requires some order kappa p log 1 by epsilon iterations, where kappa is the approximation to which we're solving this. Then when we reduce from this to this, we only require to solve this to a constant approximation, and that only introduces an m to the little o of 1 in the runtime. So to see the final runtime, we get this from our original iterative refinement. We get this m from our sparsification routine, and we get this from our multiplicative weight update solver. So to summarize, we gave an algorithm for flow space and voltage spaces for P greater than 2. And for general matrices, we gave an algorithm for P between 2 and 4. Now we can also show that the flow space problem for P greater than 2 is dual to the voltage space problem for P between 1 and 2. And similarly, the voltage space problem for P greater than 2 is dual to the flow space problem for P between 1 and 2. So as a result, our algorithms actually can be made to work for these regimes as well. So to conclude, we actually have an algorithm for all P greater than 1 for both flow and voltage problems. And thank you.